and we'll provide this to you guys via YouTube. It'll go up on our YouTube channel, so you'll have that. And let me just hit the music, and hopefully that works. All right, Ed, here we go.
All right.
I haven't heard this in so long.
I know, right? Hey, everybody. Welcome to our big, exciting Friday. It's a Tommy Feldman show. We're so excited that you have decided to spend your late Friday afternoon with us. We've got a lot of great stuff planned. We've got 3 wonderful comedians. We've got improv, a little bit of sketch, some background information, and of course, we'll tell you how the real money is made here. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now, I know a lot of people set their clocks by our show because we run this like a well-oiled machine. So I got to tell you, we're doing something a little special today because we have a new regular on our show. Please welcome to the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour, Hailey Hackett.
Hi, guys. Happy to be here.
Hey, we're excited to have you, Hailey. Thank you for deciding to join our fine, highly esteemed show.
It was an easy decision. It was a very easy decision.
That is great to hear. So you were on our April 30th show, so we're not going to have to interview you or anything. People can go watch that show. But what made you decide to join our fine, exciting show?
Because I had so much fun when I was on it on April 30th. So it was an easy answer. I do mean it was an easy decision. Tommy reached out and was like, do you want to be on the show regularly? And I was like, what? I can have fun multiple times during the month? Yeah, absolutely. Easy answer.
Great. Well, we, as part of the low stress thing, that's all the questions for now, but we just want to make sure people didn't go, whose voice is that? So you're welcome to chime in anytime, just like the rest of our regulars, just like the rest of the comedians on the show. Ask questions, whatever you want. So now it's time for the segment that we like to call the news. So, because we like to stay on top of what is happening in the world. But we are excited to have Hailey here. So let me get to my exciting news commentary. So first item up for big announcement was CVS has announced that they are raising the minimum wage for their employees to $15 an hour. I don't know if everybody heard about that. Pretty exciting stuff. I'm sure most of those employees are pretty excited, but I got to tell you, $15 an hour still seems pretty low for a drug dealer.
Hey.
Not that I have any experience in that, because believe me, I do not. All right. And that's a fine story to start with. This next one seems a little more painful. So it's a delicate topic. I don't want to get too detailed because, my mom watches the show. But a doctor, hi, Mom. A doctor has shared this gory details of a man who fractured his appendage during intercourse. Like I said, I don't want to go too in depth. I know, but I guess I'm just mostly posting this as a warning to all you dudes out there that hear about it and decide you want to try the Theismann. Is that an old football play? Anyway, look up the Theismann on YouTube. You will understand. All right, next story. Oh, watch out who you go out with. Yeah, this doctor nearly killed his girlfriend in what were described as drug-fueled exorcisms. Now, personally, I think drug-fueled exorcisms is a little overly dramatic as a way to say colonoscopy prep. I think some of you, thank you. I think some of you know what I'm talking about. All right. Now, this one, I think some of us are going to find the most upsetting. That's right. Because I don't know about you, but I don't care what diet I'm on. Doesn't matter. If somebody offers me bacon, I'm going to have it. Sorry, Rabbi. All right. But some people believe that California's new animal welfare law could mean the end of bacon. I don't see how that's possible. I mean, I just find it hard to believe. After all, aren't lawmakers considered the biggest producers of pork?
Yeah.
All right. And now finally, our final news story of the day. Uh, you know, people are tracking trends in these COVID times, and it turns out that some people are starting to see their exes either on the side or in spite of a relationship. I know it seems hard to believe. So it's been reported that back burner relationships with exes are rising during the pandemic. Now, I know I'm old, but this sort of reminds me of back in the 1967, they had the Summer of Love, but this is more like the simmer of love. Anyway, that is our news stories for the day. Thank you very much.
I'll give you
I hope-
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Well, that means it's time for our first interview person. So coming to the screen now, it's David Kelly.
Hello.
Ooh.
Hey, David, thank you for joining us on the Tommy Feldman Show. We're excited to have you.
The highlight of my life. Trust me.
Well, I would hope so. So I know David from the South Bay comedy scene. He's a frequent regular at lots of different open mics. So David, why don't you tell us about how you got started in comedy?
Well, I got started. I've always wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and I was doing a lot of public speaking, especially for work. And we had some deaths in the family, so I was asked to be one of the people speaking at the memorial services, and I was getting some major laughs at memorial services. I thought, well, if I can make a funeral crowd laugh, what's stopping me from trying out stand-up comedy? So I looked up the scene in the South Bay, and at the time there was a room at the Bamboo Room, I think it was called, over at one of the airport hotels near San Jose Airport, and that got me started. And then I met Pete Munoz, who runs several rooms, and you see me frequently at Woodham's and many upstanding dive bars. That was 8 years ago, so I've been doing this for 8 years now.
Oh, okay. What's changed, do you think, in 8 years? Anything, or
For myself or for the scene?
for the scene, for yourself? Yeah.
It's you see people come and go. It's amazing how many people are involved in the entire Bay Area. I would guess there's 500 people who regularly go to open mics as performers at least once a week, if you include San Francisco, Oakland, and the North Bay.
Right.
You meet lots of people, and it's a really good community. Actually, being in high tech, that's why I live here, I see one slice of the community, and being in comedy, I see another slice. I see a lot of more people who grew up here on the comedy scene than I do in high tech. High tech is most people who moved here for their jobs. So it's given me a much richer view of how people live in the Bay Area and different interests and the different points of view of growing up here versus coming here from somewhere else.
Right. Where did you originally come from?
I come from Vancouver, Canada. You can see by my nifty Canucks.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
Never
So
heard.
you're still a West Coast guy. You just
I'm still a West Coast guy, and I'm used to misery. Like
So,
the day they win the Stanley Cup will be the day after I die.
obligatory Canadian accent moment. So sorry.
That was our visiting Canuck impersonator, Tommy Feldman. So, how would you describe your style of comedy?
It's all scripted and rehearsed, and so it is something that I'm working on. Is after being rehearsing at home to a blank wall for 18 months, I found myself focusing too much on the material and not enough about engagement. And so what I'm working on right now is I have the material memorized and well rehearsed and so on. I need to turn it to more like it seems like a conversation rather than reciting a bunch of language. And so it's really easy to get caught up in what's the next joke rather than who's this in the audience. And as Tony Robbins has told people, he presents with his mind out here in the audience. He's not internalizing, his mind is out here with people, and he finds it's the only way to engage. And it's a practice I'm trying to learn better.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I remember at some point learning how important the connection was. Not that I'm making it very well,
How you
but at
doing?
least at least I learned that you had to do it. So it's like I don't know. Do you feel like you get to like plateaus and then you're like, what do I need to go do to get to the next thing? Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
What
And
would you
get
say
different
that?
audiences, and you get different who goes on before you sometimes makes a big difference. I've gone on after people who make a living at comedy, and yeah, that's really tough. Really hard to follow Samuel B. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Who's your what were your comedy inspirations, would you say?
Well, being a late boomer, I grew up watching the Johnny Carson on the Tonight Show and David Letterman, and I actually thought that's what comedy was. You know, these 5 minute or shorter segments you see on late night television, because there wasn't really a major comedy club in Vancouver that I could go to. There was one called Yuck Yucks, which I actually have never been to. And then I learned more about it watching people do it live here. That there's can be more storytelling, or there can be a rapid succession of one-liners. There's a whole different variety of comedy. But growing up, it was the big stars on late night television, early days of Saturday Night Live, that sort of thing.
Oh, okay. Who was your favorite comedian, would you say?
I'd say Martin Short.
Oh,
So,
okay.
really quick story. We were in New York. We saw 2 big shows, and we went to see David Letterman in his last year before he went off the air. And Martin Short was one of his guests. His segment was better than the 2 Broadway shows. He's just that good.
Yeah, yeah. He's like a supernatural when it comes to playing for the audience and everything else. So he's really good. So you sent us a clip. So
Yep.
I think Tommy's going to bring it up now. Is there anything you would like to do to introduce your clip, as they say in the biz?
Yep. So this is Danny Decci's show at the neck of the woods on Clement Street in San Francisco from a week ago last Tuesday.
Cool.
There's Danny Decci.
Hey, how's everyone doing? I'm one of those new young comedians you've been hearing about. I love performing here. I think I speak for all of us when I say, if I could be 2 places at once, I'd be in 2 other places. Okay, selfies? Sure, it's easy for you. I'm too big, I have to take 2 halvesies. Guys, if I look the least bit familiar to you, I'm not your girlfriend's dad. I'm your girlfriend's fantasy. I'm not broke, and I've got a Costco card. I don't know why this happens to me. When I ride the bus, people offer me their seats. I'm not sure if because I look old or because I look pregnant. So you should just ask, who's hungry? And whip up my booze. Have you heard that dancing can reverse the aging process? Unfortunately, to make it work, you actually have to dance. Sitting at a bar watching strippers doesn't count anymore. During the pandemic, there's so many times I could have danced like no one was watching. But I didn't, because nobody was watching. Once flew on a nudist airline. A nudist airline. Fastest trip through airport security ever. In business class, you could see everyone's business. On the plus side, I could raise my tray table without using my hands. Then things got just plain weird. During the safety announcements, they handed out condoms. On a recent flight, you could choose a kosher meal or a vegetarian meal. I went with a home-cooked meal. That way I could bring my mother.
There you go.
That was awesome. I love that if I could be 2 places at once, I'd be at 2 other places.
Those
That's
are the
a great-
best jokes because they're not topical and they're timeless. I could tell that joke 20 years from now.
Yeah, exactly. What's it like playing that room? Because you're up on a pretty high stage, right?
Oh, actually, it was really good. The mic was pretty hot. He had the volume. The guy, not Danny, but the guy running the tech had the mics pretty hot. So that's why it was so low in the stand. It's a deep room, it's a narrow room. You get many of these that it's narrow and deep rather than wide. But I got a really good response, and half the audience were patrons rather than comedians, which is always the best situation. And so I try to save those rooms to do maybe no more frequently than once a month, so the audience doesn't get used to the material. And there are places like that in Santa Cruz and elsewhere. There used to be a place close to downtown San Jose called the Poorhouse Bistro, which was an audience of mostly musicians, but with children. So you have to watch both. And fortunately, my material, it can play in front of many different audiences. But that's what I try to do. The open mics to sort of get myself going, and then the showcases or the places like Danny's to test to see how I'm doing that week or that month.
Yeah.
Great. So I think we're getting towards the end of the interview. Do you have any shows or anything you'd like to plug, or anything, or links you
Sure,
want to give out?
I'll be back at Neck of the Woods on the first Tuesday after Labor Day, the 7th of September. And I'm around the Bay Area, usually at Woodham's on Mondays, and try to do your mic off the hook on Tuesdays. And hopefully the Caravan will be back. They had to close down the comedy there because of safety concerns, but I think they'll get it back going. Caravan on Wednesday. So lots of good stuff around the Bay Area. I encourage everybody to have a look.
Great. Well, thank you, everybody. Let's give it up for David Kelly.
Yay.
Go see him.
Thank
Thank you, David. All right. Now it is time for the world famous Tommy Feldman Happy Hour Improv Players. So since I usually run this, I'll tell you how it works. So we're going to bring up something to get things started, and then it's questions only. So normally, stand-up comedian teachers and improv teachers will tell you, don't ask the audience any questions. Don't ask questions. And this is completely different because you're only supposed to ask questions. So in fact, when somebody says something and it is not in the form of the question, Tommy, who has the magic dinger, will ring the bell, and that will mean that round is over. And we usually get about 2 or 3 rounds in. Is there anybody who would like to play besides any of the regulars, or who even on the regulars would like to play?
I like to play.
All right, great. Who else?
Yeah, I'll jump in, dude.
All right, Eric.
Hey.
Anybody else? Hailey.
Yeah, sure.
All right. And there we go. All right. So is it just anybody else? All right. Do we want to just do it like Eric and I, and then Hailey and Kathy? I think it works easier if it's just 2 people.
Let's do that.
So let's do that. And so then we'll bring up the.
So you, Ed and Eric first, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me bring that up.
How are you, Ed?
I'm good. All right. What would you like to do, Eric? Which of those 3 pieces of inspiration would you like?
I'm always a fan of Word.
Word. All right. Let's go with Word.
Climb.
Wow.
All
Have you
right.
climbed this thing before?
Haven't I seen you here before?
What made you think you've seen me before?
I mean, you remember me, right?
Who are you?
We got arrested, remember?
Did we get convicted?
I don't know if you did, but I sure did.
Ring, 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 ring.
Oh man, oh yeah. Always forget on the question mark. Oh man.
I know. All right, now it's Kathy and Hailey's turn.
All right. Let me get the.
All right, which one? What do you guys want? Word, relationship, or location?
Relationship.
Relationship. All right.
2 judges.
2 judges.
Do you think he's guilty?
You think he's not guilty?
I mean, what did you think about the murder evidence?
Murder evidence?
I mean, didn't you see it come in? The glove was all bloody, right?
Is there something wrong with the bloody?
I mean, is there something right with the bloody glove?
All right, that was the bell. That was the bell. All right. All right. Let's see. Why don't we do Eric and Hailey now
All right.
for the 3rd and final round?
Battle.
All right. Let's see. I think Eric chose. Yeah. So Hailey, why don't you choose?
Why don't we do location?
Location. Moonbase Bravo.
What? What is Moonbase Bravo?
Hailey, do you hear me come in?
Can you hear me?
You're breaking up. Are you on channel 3?
Are you deaf?
Is this Moonbase Bravo?
If it's not Moonbase Bravo, what else would it be?
I don't know, but I'm trying to order a pizza. So I mean, I had a question. I was gonna ask that in a question, but I forgot how.
Right.
Are there pizzas there?
Let's give it up for our not quite ready for happy hour players. We hope you all had fun watching that. Now, our next guest is Kathy Zhao. Kathy, thanks for being on the show.
Hi, Ed. Thank you for inviting me here.
Yeah. I think the first time I met you was probably at Rooster Teeth Feathers, where you were in the comedy competition.
Yeah.
You did really well. And
Thank you.
and then I've seen you at a lot of the open mics around the South Bay and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us about your comedy origin story?
Oh gosh, someone asked me this story like just earlier this week, and it was kind of funny one because I didn't know anything about stand-up comedy when I first came to US for school. I was at Stanford, and it's until like 1 year after I graduated, someone recommended me to watch the TV show The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and I was like, I can do that too, right? Because like I'm always a laughing stock in China. Like everybody loves to laugh at me no matter what I do. So then at this moment, there was a professor at Stanford who wanted to do a stand-up comedy workshop, and he wants a performer. So I just lied to him. I said, I did it. Let me try. So that was my first time performing stand-up comedy in English. And after that, I think I was just being lazy. I didn't do much. And two, I got dumped by my ex-boyfriend. And I was like, shit, I need to make this guy infamous. And how should I do that? I will write him in all my stand-up comedy bits. So that's why I started to do open mics. And it's from then on, like more shows. So yeah, you'll never know what you will get when you got dumped.
I always remember there was one of Eddie Murphy's big albums. I swear it's just 45 minutes of him going after an ex-girlfriend, but not really saying that. But it's, yeah. And I'm like, after a while, you're like, I mean, 45 minutes is a lot longer than you were doing. But anyway, wow. Well, I hope
80 minutes.
Does he realize how famous you made him?
I sent him every show video to him.
For
2 years. I'm not kidding, for 2 years.
Wow. So be nice to Kathy, guys. So so you always say that this is doing comedy in English. So did you used to do comedy in Chinese?
Yeah, I think that started from like probably elementary school. That I don't know why people just laugh at me. Because I really want to be a serious person. I think in heart, I'm a very serious person. Okay. But yeah, I don't know why people just always want me to be the clown or some part in the comedy. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, you're very good at it.
Thank you.
So what are there any comedians that you remember from childhood or once you got over to the States that inspired you or were your favorites?
Yeah. Because I'm from northeast of China. That's where the best comedians from in China. And I think the one person who really inspired me, his name is Zhao Benshan. I think everybody knows him in China. He's kind of like the god of comedy, like sketch comedy, everything. And he's very rich. Yeah, I also like the rich part. Yeah, so basically he's the one in China, and also another person like I think in stand-up comedy is Robin Williams, because I also have ADHD and it was diagnosed in the US. So I think like I didn't have ADHD when I was in China. America changed my life. But somehow I feel like I like comedians who just don't know what they are doing on the stage, running around, shouting. Yeah, that's my type.
That's great. So how has the South Bay comedy scene been treating you?
I think I mean after the quarantine, should I say after the quarantine now? I don't know. But just things
Don't jinx it.
Okay. Let's see. post-pandemic era. I think I'm doing great because I was so inspired by a comedian in New York City, and he asked me to do at least 5 shows every week. So I'm trying to catch up that, like 5 shows every week.
Oh, okay. Was this a class you took, or this is like you went on a web show and they
No,
said you should do?
he is running an online writing workshop. So yeah, after I talked with him, and his name is Rob, and yeah, he just encouraged me so much.
Okay, that's great. And how would you describe your style if somebody was out there wondering what type, besides anti-boyfriend?
Guy insulting, and
What did you say?
Guy insulting. I mean, people always say I insult guys. I don't think I insult them. I just tell them the truth. Yeah, and truthful. Yeah.
All right, great. Well, hey, we have a clip. You provided a clip for us, so Tommy is gonna get it up here. And
Ed, you said it was a Facebook message, or
I think so. Yeah. Does it work on Zoom?
what's the? What did you send it to me? From...
I put a link in the Facebook Messenger. You should have gotten it. Let me see. Didn't I? Oh yeah, it's the one that just says facebook.com, and it's Facebook Messenger Media.
Okay.
Attachment. It's right before I sent.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull that.
I just want to point out that is the worst 2-factor authentication I've ever heard of in my life. That's just ridiculous.
That was a tech joke. My bad. Sorry.
It's not. Let's see here. Facebook. Can you pull it on your side, Ed? You can just share your screen.
Yeah, I can. Let me see.
It's not letting her.
Let me see. Do the share screen. Hold on a sec. Technical difficulties. Let's see. Is this basic, or do I go back to video?
Just do share screen, regular, basic. Yeah, with.
Okay. Share
check
screen.
the share sound checkbox.
Oh, okay. Oh, share sound. All right, and now screen. And then do that, and then let's bring this up. Is it working?
It says started screen sharing. I don't see anything yet.
Ed, you are an engineer.
We always have good time.
Whoops.
With technology here on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Ed, his engineering experience is generally not related to Windows or Zoom, but I have a clip of yours, Kathy, from when you were at Mutiny Radio, but
sure,
play that if that for some reason Ed doesn't. Is it?
I think Ed is still trying to share. I can just perform now.
That's we could do stand-up. We could do a little stand-up set. But Ed, have you?
Can you guys see this now?
Yes.
Yeah. Now I can. Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
All right. Let me just.
So much.
All right.
We need a higher volume.
That's as loud as it gets.
But listen to those laughs. We know it's.
Who's living in China right now has something in common with Proud Boys. They both wanted me to go back to China.
I heard that.
I'm responding to them very politely. Book me a flight. You know, my mom wants me to go back to China because I cannot find a boyfriend here. So any single guys here tonight? Yeah, me. Oh! Sorry, I mean a younger one. will be audited randomly by my grandma. My father has been reporting to her for 35 years. I know. You must think that, oh, we are crazy rich Asians. No.
Oh, all right. Whoops. Let me
That was the funniest hearing test I've ever watched.
I got the gist of it. It is,
Yeah.
and I have seen Kathy perform several times, and definitely boyfriend. That's the number one. White boyfriend. That's your
Midwest white boyfriend.
white
Midwest.
boyfriend. Yeah, I'm on the other side of that equation. So I'm the weeb in the relationship. My wife is Japanese, but
Oh, and
Yeah.
you're Jewish, right?
yes. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, our thing is Jews for Japanese. That's how. But hey, Kathy, actually, on that note, do you find amongst the white guys, I mean, are Jewish guys a little bit more interesting than your standard white guy? Or
What are
Jewish
you
guys
asking about, Tommy?
I'm just curious.
As long as it's colorful, like it's fine. Because my mom just want me to have a mixed baby. As long as you are like not look like me, you're good.
All right,
Yeah.
well,
So Eric, are you single?
I'm in a committed relationship with my cat, and that's enough.
yeah.
All
No simmer of love for Eric.
Nah, dude, I'll be
Anyway, Kathy, that was great. Sorry about all the technical fun we just
No
had there.
problem.
Zoom told me that it was that there was some error and it was killing my session. So anyway, I'm glad we got something out there. Anyway, do you have any shows or anything you'd like to plug?
Yes, I have 3 shows coming in 2 weeks. So one is a show called Bay Area Got Talent in Tommy T's Comedy Club in Pleasanton on August 24th. It's a Tuesday. So if you can get there, that'd be great. And another 2 shows is 28th, both in San Francisco, one in Atlanta, no, Atlas Cafe, I think in Mission area, Atlanta was a little bit far. And another one I think is in Tenderloin. I need to check the name of the place, but I have like those 2 shows on the same day in San Francisco.
Oh, wow. That's exciting. That's exciting. Well, thank you. I hope you can stick around. Thank you very much. Let's give it up for Kathy.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, well, now, all right, the Tommy Feldman happy hour is not cheap to produce. We obviously have very, very high standards, technical quality, performer salaries. It's crazy, right? So we need somebody to bring in the dough, and that man is Eric Newton. Eric, why don't you tell us what you've found for this week?
Definitely. And I'm glad you brought up the responsibilities and how hard it is to make these deals happen, because, whenever a company approaches us to do a sponsorship deal, I always give it a lot of thought first, because, at the end, I want both parties to be on the same page. I want to make sure our goals are in line with their goals, vice versa. And so recently, when I was approached by, Cars for Kids, okay, naturally I had some questions. I had some questions for them. I had some questions for myself, like right off the bat, like, I don't even know, am I okay with kids even driving cars? I had to think about it. I'm not sure if it's a good idea, especially these kids in particular, like these kids are obviously like in a rock band, and okay, I know what happens at band practice, and trust me, like, you don't want kids driving cars after band practice ever. Trust me. You know what? Maybe I'm old-fashioned. I just don't like it safe. Okay. Another thing I have to think about when I'm making these deals, I always have to think about, protecting the Tommy Feldman brand. You know what I mean? And honestly, I feel like the letter K appears too many times in these cars for kids advertisements. There's actually like a K on the kick drum right there. Maybe it's a K for kick drum. Who knows? But that's I can't help it. It's a long-standing policy. I only work with companies with acronyms of 2 Ks or less. All right. If you got 3 Ks in acronym, I can't really work with you. And that reminds me, I just don't do it anymore. And finally, like, don't even get me started on the Cars for Kids jingle song. It's utter rubbish. I can't stand it. So for me, that was the third strike, which ironically is also an acronym baseball fans should be ashamed of. All right, I'm just gonna throw that out there. But anyway, I decided not to go ahead with the deal, and I'm gonna look for a more ethical company for the next episode of the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour, everybody. Thanks. That's all I got.
Thank you, Eric. I know, I agree with you. I can't, the moment they get to 3 strikeouts in a game, they can't get to 4 strikeouts fast enough for this guy.
100%.
So anyway, thank you. Were you a big fan of the Flintstones ever?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, well, you're the grand poobah of moolah in my book. And we are lucky to have you, Eric. Anyway, it is now time for the third and final, but certainly not the least, interview of the day. It's Jacob Contreras. Thank you, Jacob, for being here.
Thanks for having me, Ed. Awesome being here.
Yeah, well, I've known you for a long time in the South Bay scene. So, it's like every superhero movie so far. Tell us your origin story when it comes to comedy.
Well, I started out kind of just, I got the idea when I was in grad school just doing homework one day, and I saw this YouTube clip of this show called This Is Not Happening with Ari Shafir. It's a bunch of comedians just telling stories that just of things that you did not imagine happen to people, like getting robbed, but always put like a funny spin on it or something like that. So in college, I had a lot of odd things happen to me, and I tried to storytell at first, but that didn't really work out for my style of comedy, but that got me interested in trying to get out there and do it, and I haven't looked back since. So it's been fun.
Were there any particular comedians that inspired you or anything like that? Or are you sort of thing?
Well, I think as a kid, I saw George Lopez once at Sounds of State. So that stuck with me for a long time. But I never really thought about comedy until I saw that show really doing it, maybe just for fun or just whatever it may be. But since then, guys like David Tell has really stuck with me a lot, like his style of joke writing and just delivery and performance, just absurdities. I love it. It's the funniest thing ever.
So, hey, I am now part of a hosting rotation at the same bar that used to host an open mic out. So what was your experience? What did you learn from hosting?
I think I learned a lot, how to connect with the crowd better, like you guys were talking about earlier with David, right? I learned that a lot more and be more in tune with what they're filling on the jokes in terms of the room and just reading it, but also being able to look for premises or new bits to kind of write as I go, with that regard, but also being able to crowd work also, which is fun, just because that's another muscle of improv. When you guys are doing that improv thing, I thought about joining, but I was I don't know what to do. So, I was I'm gonna sit back maybe on it, but next time I come on, I'll try it again. But it's always fun. So I really dug that little exercise you guys did.
Thank you. And so, what's your experience been like in the South Bay or the Bay Area comedy scene?
It's been good overall. I mean, when I started to get into it, everyone was very supportive, where to go for mics, I get more time or just things like that. I remember Jorge Sanchez, it's a writers group for people. You always invite people to come by and just do that on Sundays if they were free, or just general just being very welcoming people. If you're not a jerk to somebody, everyone's gonna be nice to you. That's how I've looked at it. And then I have no problems with anybody, so it's all been good as far as I know.
I know it's the old. As far as I know, everything's fine. Yeah.
Right. I had no beef with nobody, but I don't know if anybody has beef with me. So
Jacob, when I met you, I think we had a brief conversation. I thought I remember you saying you were a PhD student at the time, or.
Oh yeah, I got my master's in education. So I teach middle school social studies. So I do that during the day, which is fun because they're very goofy kids usually. So it's also good to be goofy with them in a different way, but also try to get them just to learn a little bit about the world, I suppose.
Yeah, I remember you. I remember thinking that very well educated, and I could tell that from your comedy, and actually all of the people brought on tonight. I could tell Ed's crew they were all everyone's pretty smart. But Jacob, at that time you had more facial hair though, so I was like,
oh yeah. You're looking.
Why is this guy so clean cut now?
Yeah, so for a while I was rocking kind of this real free spirit look because I wasn't teaching per se, so I was just substitute teaching, working at my the girls' day and times their family's restaurant. So I was just blended bang, dude, just goatee, long hair, had the Jesus look. But she would often call it the pre-homeless look, because it looked like I was just like one bad payday away, you know, from just being out on the street. So I'm going back there at some point. I'm already planning on it. When I have enough money and I got a job where I'm just tenured in,
Yeah.
it's back to looking homeless again.
Wow, there's something to strive for.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. And so, Jacob, you and I also have another commonality, but you are obviously much more skilled than I ever was. I did high school wrestling for 1 year. So yeah, my record was 2 and something I don't want to talk about because I actually don't know how many losses I had. I just remember I won twice. So how long did you do wrestling? And you're a wrestling coach now, right?
Yeah, so I did for about 7 years. It was a fun experience. It taught me a lot about life, just like discipline and like structure. And then also just taught me just like get up when things like happen, just get up, move forward, or figure it out in the situation. So a lot of that internal like just stoicism as well. Because like with that sport, like no one really is, you get hurt, that's it. Like you can either defend yourself or you can let somebody beat up on you and choose not to. But I did that. I could have gone to college for it, chose not to, just wanted to live life afterwards. But the funny thing about that is of all the offers I got, the best one was for OSU to be a coxswain on the crew team. I've never been on a boat in a day of my life at that point either.
This is Oregon State?
Yeah. Not the fancy one, the one that's down the street. The one you need 275 to get into.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So they just were like, well, he can wrestle, so he can probably wrestle those oars. Is that the idea?
Well, the idea was I was a lightweight. So I wrestled 105 for 2 years straight, then 112, and then 125. Even when I wrestled 125 my senior year, I was walking around like 116. So that was that. So they're like, hey, we need a skinny guy in the
right
boat.
size, and you were strong, so they're like, we need this guy.
Yeah. They were like, if anything happens, just make sure there's not a light breeze doesn't sail him away off the boat.
I was lucky. I was the super heavyweight, which meant I didn't worry about weigh-ins, but all these other guys would be sitting there walking around spitting all over the place beforehand. It was crazy. They did some crazy
You see, the
stuff.
thing is, I didn't mind cutting weight. I used my freshman year, I cut down like 15 pounds in a day to do freestyle state. I was in a sauna running around, like I had the belt on, the plastics, like you name it. And like when I didn't cut weight, that was when I did my worst actually.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, it was a great fitness program. Anyway,
For sure.
We should get back to comedy. So let's go see. This is a first on the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour.
Yeah,
This
so can I
is
make a preface here?
audio only.
Yeah,
but
I'm bad at
it's
getting
still-
the video clips. So this is it. It's a set from the other night. So hopefully you guys enjoy.
I'm
Jacob,
sure we
you should
will.
just mime it out when the audio is playing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can lip sync. Like I can never remember that woman that got busted on Saturday Night Live for lip syncing.
Is this the right? I just go ahead. This is it right here, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
right. If not, I can just do this set.
All right.
Go ahead.
Like a young Steve Buscemi, all right? It's the fucking eyes, right? It's the crazy eyes. Yeah. Well, you know, I've always looked this way: tired, skinny, stoned. Right. And I'm working on the skinny thing, man. Like I've been trying to like eat more, put on weight, lift. But like came to this conclusion recently. Regardless of how much I work out, the best. I mean, the best I'm ever gonna look. Lady UFC fighter. There's always gonna be some dude that's like, yeah, I can whip his ass 1,000%. I think what you listen to in music is a lot about you as a person. So I listen to a lot of Taylor Swift, so I can pretend I have a girlfriend disappointed in me. Yeah. I actually just got a relationship with a flight attendant for 1.5 years. That's like a lot like having an imaginary girlfriend because it's like being that kid in middle school, right? Who has a girlfriend that goes to another middle school. And that middle school also happens to be in Canada. It's fucking imaginary, dude. Like it doesn't exist to some people, you know? But like before we broke up, we got in this big argument over cultural appropriation, which I don't fucking understand because she's a Vietnamese chick with a Brazilian wax. Yeah. I didn't fucking ask to be circumcised, all right? I was like, hey, Rabbi, do you mind taking a little bit off the top? I was going for a look that says you can put your mouth here. Yeah, but it probably wasn't good for our relationship either. That wasn't very good at going down on her. So like, you know, it would be like, does this work for you? It's the alphabet. I'm financially stable. Yeah, so there's that. So now I just figured now I'm 27, right? Came to this realization the other day. The older I get, the more likely it is I'm gonna date somebody with a kid, which is fucking scary on its own. So now I've just decided I'm gonna date chicks with kids my age. That way I have someone to hang out with later on. It's like, what?
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
Never thought of circumcision of non-Jews as cultural appropriation, but thank you, Jacob,
I am a
for that
Gentile,
image.
so
I was gonna say, like, I'm always embarrassed. I never remember people, but I remember people by their material. And I think I just saw you recently somewhere, like Neck of the Woods, or like maybe Penelope,
Oh.
maybe.
I was at Penelope last week on Thursday.
Right, yeah. I was like, always remember people's jokes. That's funny stuff, bro. Yeah, man.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Cool. All right. So do you have anything upcoming shows or anything you want to plug, Jacob?
Yeah, I got a show 25th in Santa Cruz at the brewery. I forget the exact name of the brewery, but I'll put it on Facebook probably. So if you check it out there.
Yeah, and people are welcome to post on our the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour group, and we'll get that information out to them. So anyway, let's give it up for Jacob. Thank you, Jacob.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And now it's the moment we've all been waiting for. It's the Nico Lukoff report. Nico, are you here? Nico?
There we go.
All right. So Nico, tell us what's happening. What's happening out there in the world of Nico, of displaced comedians? I will say that yes, I followed for just an instant the Instagram displaced comedians, and then I saw your note and I unfollowed. So all within an hour.
First of all, we need to authenticate you, Nico. We don't know if you're actually you or from displaced comedians. So I'm going to ask you a question that only Nico Lukoff would know.
All right.
How many jokes about a stool can one?
I was just gonna start my joke. I was just gonna start doing that bit. there's the one and only best joke about a chair in the world, and that's mine. So
okay, you've been verified. You've been
arrogant. He knows that one joke. Yes, that's him. Yeah. So like it was a couple weeks ago. Yeah, our last time we were started talking about a little bit because some of that was going on. There's been some like just imposter group account stuff from someone who I kicked out of the group, who doesn't take rejection very well, apparently. So the main thing that bothers me is that because it's like I don't want to like validate them or give them my energy or anyone else there, but is tricking people into thinking they're following something or part of something that they felt a part of, and it's not accurate. So to try to, because there was all these different social media pages and different places using my name, things that sounded like displaced comedians, things in weird ways, like it'd be called like displaced comedy, but they don't say displaced comedians. So in weird ways that made it a little more difficult for me to report some of those. But to try to squash that a bit, is I just updated the About Us page, which pinged about 9,000 Facebook accounts on displaced comedians. It was like, hey, this is the only place that's displaced comedians. Anything else is just something else. So, not that other groups aren't existing or whatever, but like this is the only one that's this thing. Even so, people are still posting screenshots like, is this the same group or whatever? I was like, nope, it's not. So whatever. So sad person who's got more energy than emotional stability, who could be putting that effort into writing jokes, is not. So yeah, so that's where we're at. But still got a lot of activity in the group. That's positive. Still a lot of Zooms to do. People are posting all the time, doing different hangouts and workshops and things. And I gotta say, one thing that was pretty cool, I had experienced the night that Zoom kind of helped prepare me for. That was exciting. So I go to this mic every Thursday night in downtown Boise called Mad Sweet Beer Hall. It's a kick-ass mic. There's like 50 people in there that are real humans, like reserving tables and stuff to do comedy or watch comedy. It's really fun. And
well, that's like cheating.
It is, isn't it? It is. It's funny. Like I'll go to like Seattle, Tacoma, and like go to all these mics that are like these dark bars. I'm talking like 6 people, and then there'll be some clubs too. But like for the most part, it's like it's a little rougher. And then here it's like, oh, I'm going in. There's like 50 people plus the comics who can't even fit in there. Not because we're all fat, but because it's a good problem to have when the tables are taken up by real humans. But really fun. But anyway, a fellow comic was very nice. Tina Towns, she reminded me of this audition thing that was going on. And I had seen it on our local group, but I didn't really pay much attention. I didn't really feel like confident in it. I knew it wasn't just straight sets. It was just, I knew it was, I don't know. I didn't go for it. And then they were like, hey, you should go check this out. So then I had time. As soon as did my set, I jumped off stage, ran in my car, hauled ass to this bar, like 5-6 minutes away, and I got to sit down and audition for this local competition, which was it was at a bar. The audition part was, and we were just sitting at a table across a couple of tables across 5 people who were kind of out curved like this. I'm curved like out and asking a couple of questions. Then they just had us do sets while you just sit there, like no mic. You're just sitting there, and I'm like, I've been training for this for 16 months or 6,000. I don't know how long this has been. I don't know. Time's weird. Well, I do usually stand use a mic, but I'm like, this is the environment. Because it's funny too, because the comics before they were talking about like it's a weird format. So I'm like, oh, I'm used to that. I'm like, I have 5 it's like it was like a Zoom show with 5 real humans, which is 5 more than are actually on actual like book Zoom shows usually, and a curved screen because I kind of had to turn a little bit to see everybody, but they couldn't turn their video or microphone off. It was like, yes, I'll talk to you all night. So I did 3 minutes and had them rolling. I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember if they're all comics and a lady put it on. Wasn't. I know comics or non-comics are easier to make laugh, but still, whoever they were is really fun. It was engaging. I'll find out tomorrow if I made it onto the competition, and whether or not I do, I'm pretty stoked. Is 15 comics locally get on it, so unlikely that I'll be one of them, but the winner gets some money and gets to open for a legit comic coming to town. So that was fun, and presume help prepare me for that.
Oh, cool. Well, we wish you all the best on that. Did you have a question, Tommy? It looked like
I was going to say, so I've seen a lot of people making announcements about the Flappers, the Burbank Virtual Festival.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds like a lot of people have made it to the rounds. I mean, if anything, that's probably the big topic on Zoom comedy this week, right?
Yeah. I was even thinking about that when I was thinking about what I was going to talk about right now, and I just blanked. Yeah, so that's really cool. So Burbank Comedy Festival 2021. Last year was all on Zoom. And this year they did 1 week on Zoom, and that's ending. I think this weekend is the finals. And I got to do one of those, and I didn't pass, but it's fun to like see everybody and hang out and joke. I'm really excited for so many people that I've met and connected with getting to do that. And then next week, this is going to be awesome, is like just a shit ton of comics are going to descend upon Burbank, a lot just from all over the globe that have been Zooming with them all the time. I'm sure other comics too, but I'm seeing everyone else, the people that I see on Facebook are going to get to meet each other who haven't connected before and have fun and joke and connect. And I'm just so excited to see like all the pictures and little FOMO there, but I'm excited for everybody, and I'm rooting for everyone. And it's dope. It's something that I don't know if has happened before in that way.
If you get there, and we hope you do, let's definitely bring that on the show in some form, whether it be a video or I don't know, something to kind of share with us that experience, because that's amazing that this they're melding Zoom and live now.
Yeah, I'm not going to be there this year. I'm hoping to next year. It didn't quite work out, but I'm very excited for everyone who is and all their shows and stuff. And every once in a while I do this, but I want to shout thank you to everyone who's ever ran a Zoom mic thing. Hailey ran the kick-ass one, doing the storytelling stuff and keeping us doing stuff and talking and having an outlet for all this. And thanks for having me on.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you, Nico. All right. So our quiz is not happening this time. So we're actually coming to the end of today's Tommy Feldman show. But thank you to all of our guests. Thank you to David Kelly. I want to see.
So I heard a doggy in the background. Does somebody have a dog?
I know.
I was going to try and find my.
Oh yeah, that's
Does anybody want to do a little pet hour, pet introductions here? If I can find my new kitty, I'll show him to you guys. Do you want to see?
All right, sure. Yes, of course. Come on, then.
All right.
Now, normally we'd have a naming competition. All right, Jacob. Well, we can wait till. What type of dog is it, Jacob?
It's definitely a Chihuahua.
He is a Chihuahua. He's 6. People think he's a puppy, like some other breed of dog. He's just tiny.
Oh, okay. How much does he weigh?
I think like 8 pounds.
Oh, okay. Wow. So he's a carry-on size.
It's a bully
for
boy.
sure. Yeah.
Oops, he's very feisty right now.
Oh yeah.
But this is Azuki.
Oh, what is his name?
Azuki, which is like Japanese for beans, but because his paws look like little beans, but he's very, he's only 5 months old. But anyway, say hi, everyone. Okay, goodbye. That was him. He's very, very rambunctious. Still a kitty.
Hailey, do you have any pets over there? Or?
No, I want one though, so bad. It looks like Surish has a pet though.
Pretty feisty too.
Yeah.
Well, nobody cared
exactly.
about my pet elephant.
Oh, well, Are those tusks real ivory? That would get you in trouble.
Oh my gosh.
How
don't
about
get
you,
me
Eric?
online.
Any pets?
Sterling.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
I have, dude. You guys see her? Okay, first of all, she's a female all orange tabby, which is hella rare. That's only like 25%. So she like, so yeah, see her in the background.
Now we see.
Dude, she's basically like she's like a shiny Pokemon, dude. Like she has the same stats. She's like as rare as a shiny Pokemon. Yeah, her name is Sterling, aka Sterls Girls, aka Who Runs the World, Sterls. Yeah, I'm raised her to be a strong, independent feline. Don't need no human. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I love her to death.
Did Nico? Oh, Nico, are you grabbing a pet? It looks like you're trying to lift something. It looks, and his mic is off. So.
Oh, he ran away.
Oh, all right, all right.
Ugly rat.
All right. Well, we have a dog, but it's too much work to try and get it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Likewise.
Yeah. So anyway, anything else? Anybody? Oh wait, I actually do have something I forgot to show. Just let me see. Where is it? Well.
While we're waiting on that, Hailey, Eric, do you guys have any shows to promote?
I have a show actually. I have a show coming up with Nicole Tran, Ed. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I forget the name of it. It's in Richmond. August 29th. Yeah, I wasn't prepared with like a flyer or anything. They haven't sent it to me yet. But anyway, I'm looking forward to that, and I'll announce it on our page and on Facebook and everything. Hopefully, if people are in the area, they can come out and check out. There's a bunch of other funny people on the show. Me and Nicole. So many to remember are on the spot, but yeah, it's gonna be great.
All right. How about you, Hailey? Any shows coming up you want?
Absolutely. On the 19th, 20th, and 22nd, I'll be at Flappers. Doing some comedy, and then also on the the 26th, I'll be at Trademark Brewing, and somewhere in here I'm at Fourth Wall doing a comedy thing. I don't know. Yeah, I have it on my Instagram like everyone else.
Cool. How about anybody? Jacob, I can't remember. You said you just have something in Santa Cruz, right?
Yeah, on the 25th.
Okay. And then I have I'm doing a rotation with people, but it's always available on Tuesdays at Off the Hook Bar in Campbell at 7:45. 7:45. I know it's a weird time, but that way we have about 2 hours to get through people before they want to close the bar down. And they really want to close the bar down at 9:45. So anyway, well, anything else from anybody?
I feel like I'm the only fraud in here. I feel like I haven't done comedy in over a year. I just keep like joining this show. This is nice.
You're part of the regulars, man. You're part of the regulars. Yeah. So
it's like most comedians right now.
Hey Tommy, I wanted to say, you know how we keep talking about Andy Richter and I forget who runs Coco. I can't believe I forgot his name.
Conan O'Brien.
Conan, yeah. They split this show, right? I mean, or rather, like this show ended.
Yeah.
And I was thinking the same thing. Like when you went up Pismo, I feel like this might not actually happen anymore. But yeah, it's like pretty cool to see the Tommy G Film and Happy Hour still going on.
We're still here. I know.
That's right.
I think we moved to the every other week thing.
I think that helped.
Because now like Nico is a good example. Just doing, if you can do live, you do more and more live. All of you guys just announced shows, so clearly like that's become the thing. But I don't know. This is we'll just keep this going every other week. And Hailey, I know tonight was your first night, coming on, but we'll find a segment for you. We'll get you in the mix. Don't worry. And yeah, I mean, it's always great to have. And Ed, thank you for hosting. By the way, and while I'm on this note, we will be back 2 weeks from tonight on the 27th, and we're going to have. I've scheduled one comic already. I think it's
which is impressive because believe me, getting comics is the fun.
It is, and it's getting harder. To Nico's point about.
Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Jacob, David, and
yes,
Kathy.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. I want to say, I'm not sure. Maybe Nico, you can help me. You know him maybe too. Imra,
Oh, Imra.
or you guys know him?
I've never said the
yeah.
name out loud.
Yeah.
I've seen it, but I've never said it out
Oh,
loud.
you know, one thing to ask, if it's the Imra I'm thinking of, and it might be, make sure you ask him about his the way he keeps track of all of his jokes in like a spreadsheet and stuff.
All right.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, I think it might be that guy. I don't know.
I see someone posted about that.
Yeah. So anyway,
That's
well, thank you.
the only person we've booked for 2 weeks from now. But we'll start. And if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know, and we'll get them on the show.
I suggest. I think we should end every show with a scrum type meeting like this every time. Like that was pretty cool. It's like, I feel like I'm in stand up at work in the morning. It was pretty. It's informative. I think what goes on behind the scenes is tight. I like it.
Hey, Hailey.
Cool.
Your stuff in Burbank, is that part of the festival thing? Like, is that well, hell yeah. Get it, break a leg, advance, kick ass, crush, all that cool shit. I mean, even if it wasn't all that cool stuff, but it's a competition, I know. And
oh yeah, no, I got kicked out last night. I did the second round, didn't make
the
it.
Zoom
Now
one?
it's just yeah.
Nice.
Now it's just having fun, which I'm good with.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, competitions are interesting. It's like, it's like you obsess over them and then you get kicked out and you're like, oh, I feel terrible about myself. It's like
we need to do a show on that, I think. Competitions, are they worth it?
You mentioned doing flappers next week, I thought, or some other later time, and I thought, is that part of the live version of the fest?
Yeah,
oh, cool.
Nico, are you coming down?
No,
right?
I'm not. I was hoping to make it work, and then did not. Stupid having a real job, which I'm glad about. I'm glad having.
Yeah, you never complain about that.
Very fortunate and very happy about that. I was actually gonna take some vacation days to do it, and then I realized there was a trade show that I was gonna be at this week, which would be really fun too. Then I realized I had that date wrong, but it was like too late to make other plans. So as we're talking shop and making stupid decisions, I'm someone that does that sometimes. But I hope you have a kick-ass time, and I'll be watching all the stuff and just super excited for you and everybody there.
Ah,
cool.
It's gonna be fun.
Well, we've lost all our guests.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure my mom is still watching. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Aunt Mom.
We had Debbie. Yeah. So Debbie, your friend Debbie, is it?
Oh, Dee Dee.
Dee Dee?
Oh, hi, Dee Dee. I'm sorry.
He was still watching.
To say hi. Hi, Dee Dee.
Yeah.
Great to see you.
But we'll keep it rolling. I think let's see if I can do you guys ready? We'll do the outro music and we'll do a little cha-cha-cha and
yep. Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
right,
Hailey.
thank you,
welcome to our party. Thank you, Nico, as always. Thank you, Eric. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Peace out, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.